You screenshot a Proverbs verse at 6 a.m., post it, feel wise for 10 seconds. Your day collapses anyway. Everyone treats Proverbs like a life tips handbook. Bite-sized wisdom, morning devotional material. They're missing the entire point. Proverbs isn't a collection of nice thoughts, it's a map. The first 9 verses of chapter 1 contain the entire Bible in miniature. Every promise, every warning, every pattern God's been tracing from Genesis to Revelation, compressed into one introduction. Open those 9 verses. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for gaining wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight, for receiving instruction in prudent behavior, doing what is right and just and fair. Most people see a title page, author credits, publishing info. The first word stops you. Mashal. Mashal doesn't mean advice. It's a riddle that grabs you by the shoulders, forces you to stop and solve it. Like the parables Jesus told centuries later. You just walked into a conversation, not a classroom. 6 promises in 3 verses. Wisdom. Instruction, insight, prudent behavior. Justice, fairness. Not 6 separate lessons, 6 angles on the same question. How do you build a life that doesn't collapse? Then, verse 7 arrives. Nobody wants to deal with it. What does that verse actually say? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. You've seen this cross-stitched, quoted in sermons, memorized in Sunday school. But what does fear even mean here? Not terror, not the kind that makes you run. The Hebrew is yirah. Picture the Grand Canyon the first time. You're not afraid it'll hurt you, but you feel how enormous it is, how small you are, how much you didn't understand until you stood at the edge. That's yirah. Deep, reverent respect, laced with the awareness that you're standing in front of something infinitely larger than you. Knowledge starts there, not with information, not intelligence, not morality. It starts when you realize you're not the center. Then comes the second half. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. A fool isn't someone with a low IQ. A fool is someone who refuses to listen, who's already made up their mind. You can be brilliant and still be a fool. Educated, successful, respected, and still despise the one thing that could make your life coherent. This isn't an insult, it's a warning. The decision to pursue wisdom or reject it doesn't happen later. It happens here, in verse 7, in the first 60 seconds of the book. So what kind of invitation is this exactly? And who's doing the inviting? Verse 8 shifts. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and do not forsake your mother's teaching. Not a textbook anymore, a letter. Parent to child. That voice carries you through all 31 chapters, tender, urgent, personal. The Bible could have given you wisdom as a rule book. Do this, don't do that. Memorize these. Instead, it gives you wisdom as a relationship. You didn't learn to cook from a manual. You stood next to someone in the kitchen, watched them adjust the heat, taste the sauce, fix the mistake before it became a disaster. That's this. You're in the room with someone who loves you, who's seen what works, who's not controlling you, but desperately wants you to spare yourself the pain they've walked through. Wisdom shows up as a person with a voice. The parent in Proverbs isn't just Solomon, it's God. Every instruction, every warning, every promise, same voice that said, "Let there be light." Same voice that called Adam in the garden. Same voice that will say, "Well done," at the end. But there's another voice in this chapter, and it's not asking permission.
My son, if sinful men entice you, do not give in to them. Verse 10.
The stakes become real. Proverbs doesn't just tell you to avoid sin, it shows you how sin talks, how it mimics the invitation God just offered. Verses 11 through 14 give sin a script. Join the group. Easy money. Everyone's doing it. Nobody's getting caught. You'll finally belong. It sounds like opportunity, like the shortcut you've been looking for. Notice what sin does. It offers the same things wisdom promised: belonging, security, a path forward. But the voice is different. Wisdom invites. Sin entices. Wisdom says, "Come and see." Sin says, "Come before you miss out." Wisdom waits for you to choose. Sin pressures you to decide now. The fork isn't between good and evil dressed in their proper costumes. It's between two voices offering the same destination through opposite doors. One leads to life. The other leads to a room with no exit. Verse 15 cuts in. My son, do not go along with them. Do not set foot on their paths. Life is made of paths. Every single day, every conversation, every compromise you think nobody sees, you're choosing. One path looks wide, easy, full of people. The other looks narrow, lonely, uncertain. The path that looks easy at the beginning ends in ruin. The path that looks hard at the beginning leads to life. You felt this. The moment when doing the right thing felt like the loneliest decision in the world. When everyone else was cutting the corner and you were the only one holding the line. That moment isn't a sign you're doing it wrong. It's a sign you're doing it right. Wisdom doesn't feel natural. Not at first. It feels like resistance, like going upstream. But that's the path. Proverbs is standing at the fork, pointing this way. Verse 20 introduces someone new. Out in the open, wisdom calls aloud. She cries out in the public square. Wisdom personified. Given a voice. And she's not whispering. She's shouting. In the streets, the square, the city gates. Everywhere people gather, everywhere decisions are made, wisdom is there. Calling, begging people to listen. The tragedy? Verse 24. I called, but you refused to listen. Wisdom isn't silent. She's ignored. Verses 26 through 32 describe what happens when you spend your whole life refusing. Mocking instruction, rejecting correction, choosing your own way over and over. Eventually, you cry out for help, and wisdom doesn't answer. Not because she's cruel, because you've spent so long building a life that can't hold weight. The structure is collapsing. There's no quick fix for years of ignoring the blueprint. Not a threat. A description. You ignore a friend's warnings for 2 years. They don't stop loving you. But when you call at 2 a.m., the trust isn't there anymore. The foundation you needed was built during all those moments you dismissed their voice. Wisdom works the same way. You can ignore it, mock it, insist you know better. Eventually, reality catches up. The pain isn't God being vindictive. It's the natural consequence of building on sand. Proverbs isn't trying to scare you. It's trying to save you. Verse 33. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm. After all the warnings, all the descriptions of ruin, Proverbs ends chapter 1 with a promise. Not that nothing bad will happen, not that life will be easy, but that if you walk the path of wisdom, you'll have something that can't be shaken.
Safety, ease, freedom from the fear that wakes you at 3 in the morning replaying every bad decision. This promise isn't about perfection, it's about direction.
You don't have to get everything right. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't need all the answers before you start. You just have to listen. Keep listening. Let that listening reshape how you walk. That's the entire operating system in 9 verses. Fear of the Lord, starting point. Wisdom as a person, the guide. 2 paths, the choice. A warning, the stakes. A promise, the hope. Every book of the Bible is built on this foundation. The law, wisdom written down. The prophets, calling people back to the path. The Gospels, wisdom in flesh walking among us. The letters, wisdom applied to real, messy, everyday life. Proverbs 1 unlocks all of it. Remember how this started? You screenshotted a verse, posted it.
Felt wise for 10 seconds. Your day collapsed. That's what happens when you treat Proverbs like life tips, good advice, wisdom nuggets to apply when convenient.
But verse 33 reframes the entire approach. This isn't advice you pick and choose from. It's an invitation to build your entire life on a different foundation. Not your intuition, not what feels right.
Not what everyone else is doing. On the voice that's been calling since the beginning. You're going to face a decision this week, a conversation you've been avoiding, a compromise you're being asked to make.
A path that looks easier than the one you know is right. In that moment, you'll have a choice. The voice that says, everyone else is doing it, nobody will know. It's not that big of a deal. Or the voice that's been calling since Proverbs 1. The voice that sounds like a parent who loves you, who's seen how this ends, who's begging you to take the harder road because it's the only one that leads to life. Wisdom isn't automatic, but it's available, and it's calling. Right now, in the middle of your ordinary life. The question isn't whether wisdom is speaking. The question is whether you're listening. So here's the ironic part. You thought Proverbs was a life tips handbook, screenshot wisdom. But what if the entire first chapter was written for the exact moment you stop scrolling and actually decide? Come back next week. We'll open the next page together.